So my wife had the idea of making a activity board for our 1-year-old son. She saw some videos on YouTube and some pictures, and so we've decided to make an activity board on our own, and of course I'm the one who's doing it. So here's what it looks like. And our son is 1-year-old, so he will have something to play with. This is a light, chain for the door. So I'm going to show you how I made all this. So some of these I already finished. And that should be working. There we go. So the others, I'm just going to show you how I'm gonna set this up. So here are the tools that you need. Definitely need a drill for holes. You need some double-sided tape for things that don't require holes, and then also a jigsaw. Jigsaw is used to make a hole in the middle of wood, and I'll show you how I use it. So the next item I'm going to tackle is this dummy light switch that our son could just flip on and off. So what I need to do is I'm just going to measure around the light switch and then make a hole, and then so I can basically stick this in there and then put a cover on top. So first let me measure it and then we'll go from there. So here's what I did. I drew a square for about the size of this pocket here, and then I put 2 pilot holes in there with my drill. And then the purpose of that is so now I can insert the blade from my jigsaw into each hole, and then from here go up, and then this way, and then from this blade go this way, and then those will connect, and this thing should just pop right in, and then that'll be a nice hole. And here's what the jigsaw looks like with the blade inside my pilot hole. And now I just gotta cut the rest of it out and we'll go from there. Here's what it looks like halfway through, and the hole is not the most perfect square, but it doesn't really matter as long as the light switch falls in there, and then the faceplate is a lot bigger than the hole, so it's really gonna cover up my misshapen square. Here's my hole in the middle of the wood, and it looks like I need it to be a little bit wider because this is not going in. The bolts on the side are blocking it, so I'm just gonna cut a little bit more off to the side. And like I said, the faceplate's really gonna cover it, so you won't even be able to tell. So now I got the light switch fit in there, and then here's what it's gonna look like once I cover it up. Like I said, can't see the hole, and that'll be that. So what I need to do now is drill some pilot holes, and then put these screws in, and then this will be done. So this actually ended up being a little bit different than what I was gonna go with in the beginning, because the faceplate screws, they actually go through these little holes, but there's nothing for them to hang on to. So what I did is I drilled pilot holes over here, and then I tightened this down with the bolts. I'm gonna put this on top, like so, and then just screw the faceplate down, and then that'll be that. And the faceplate will be holding on by the screws to actually the light switch, which is holding onto the board via these screws. And that's it. We have our light switch. And you can't even tell the holes or anything like that. So I'm gonna move on to the next item, which is just a towel rack that he can play with and just go up and down. So this is gonna be real simple. Probably, or actually maybe not gonna be simple. So it's gonna be not so simple, but it's still simple. Towel rack has a screw. Here's the little, the other aspect of it that goes onto the board. I'm gonna drill this down with, first make a pilot hole, put in the screw, hold it down, and then this goes on top of the little metal piece that we have here, and then this screw right here, we use that to tighten it and then hold on to this piece, and then that's it. So let me go ahead and get started with the pilot hole. So that screw that was in the back was actually not the one that I needed. There was another screw. So and I drilled my pilot hole right now. So I'm just gonna put this in there, and then put the ring on top of it, and then that'll be it. And I tightened this via an Allen wrench. And now this is pretty sturdy. So that's it, this is done too. So moving on. So the next item I'm gonna do is this lock right here. And this is kind of what it looks like. Just opens and closes, so he can kind of go with it and play with it. So what I need to do is just take my pencil, mark where the holes are, and then drill some holes, and then just screw it in, and that's it. So I got one side done. Now I'm gonna do the rest. Oh, I forgot to mention the size of the drill bit that I'm using is 1/8. I don't know if you can quite see it. It's there somewhere. There it is. I can't quite make it out. But anyway, it's 1/8 because if I do anything bigger, it's just gonna strip it so the screw has nothing to grab onto. And if it's something smaller, the screws are not self-tapping, so they're not gonna be able to go through the wood. So that's why I need pilot holes. So I'm gonna continue to use my pencil, draw some more place markers, and then use my drill bit. And then after that, put the screws, and I'll be done. Here are my pilot holes. Then I'm gonna just put this on top, put the screws on, and that's it. This is done. I'm gonna do this one next. This one's gonna be pretty much the same thing. There's 4 holes in there. Just gonna mark them with a pencil, drill pilot holes with 1/8 drill bit, and then put the screws in, and that's it. And this slide, I'll probably use double-sided tape. Again, more screws and double-sided tape, and then the board will be done. But let's do one thing at a time and just tackle this next. Install the first piece, mark some more holes in the wood, gonna drill them, and then after that, put the screws in, and that's it. So this is now done. I also use double-sided tape for that. I'm gonna use double-sided tape for this. The tape is a little bit wider than this handle, so I'm just gonna cut the tape vertically. Tape this. I don't have screws for this, so I'm just gonna tape this as well. And I think the next time I'll show you this video is when I'm completely done.